Wow, 989,000 damage, Migs. All right, so today we're going to talk about the Yeoman. Is it good? Oh, yeah. This gun is fantastic. So, especially for those of you who do not have a good sniper rifle, this is the gun for you. This gun is a freaky monster gun. This has some big advantages and some big disadvantages, and we're going to talk about all of it right now. So let's start off with the build, because this is the one that for me has the most controversy and the most like oh, it makes me happy but also makes me sad. So this gun is clearly designed for crit. When you put crit on it, this thing has a 43% chance to crit. It has a 415 critical hit damage bonus. This thing is just a crit monster. Even the flat base crit damage is extremely high, and just absolutely tears it up, man. This thing, right away with the first time I used this build, I got very nearly a 1 million damage critical hit. Ludicrous. Crazy damage. Just crazy. So yeah, this gun is legit. It's got the highest flat damage of the one-shot kill rifles. We're of course comparing to the old Betsy. This gun is a direct one-to-one comparison to the old Betsy. They have the exact same critical hit chance. They have the exact same critical hit damage. The Betsy has 5,000 range. This one has 25,000 range. The old Betsy really takes the win in the headshot damage category and in the perk category. So this gun has a larger base damage than the old Betsy. So if you actually shoot something with a body shot, this gun will 100% of the time do higher average damage than the Betsy. Straight up. This gun. So for a defender, this gun is completely superior to the Betsy, because the defenders don't hit headshots. It's going to be all body shots, and this is a body shot specialist weapon. The headshot damage bonus on this weapon is only 1.5 compared to the old Betsy's 2.0. So while this one does like 131,000 damage, the old Betsy is going to be closer to 180,000 damage for a headshot. Not even comparable. But the flat damage is on this one is much higher. So the fire rate is about the same. This one is a 0.9 fire rate, where the other one is a 1.0 fire rate. Both of those stats are pretty much irrelevant, because the fire rate doesn't matter, because the reload time is worse than the fire rate. So the thing that's going to be slowing down your shots is actually the reload, not the fire rate. And the reload on this one is way worse than the old Betsy, because the old Betsy can have reload bonuses on the gun. So this one doesn't have any. Like, you would have to give up something you don't want to give up with to get that extra reload speed, and it's just not worth it. You're just gonna have to go with the 2.5 reload. Maybe use a character like Calamity to really give you a massive reload bonus, so that this gun can be fired more often. Let's just take a look at the perks here, because this is the part that kind of annoys me the most about this gun. So this is clearly a crit rate, crit damage gun, for sure, no question. You can go with physical or energy, depending on whether or not you want to hunt elementals, or if you want to hunt Krampuses and blasters. Currently, the physical is the Miss Monster killing tool of choice, because there are no elemental smashers in the game right now during the winter event. The Krampuses have taken the place of the smashers, and Krampuses are always physical. So physical is definitely the best choice right now. This is the one that really bothers me, is the passive and the 5th perk. So the passive is, in my opinion, 100% worthless. Just the worst passive in the entire game. I hate it. It's trash. Snare doesn't matter. You're going to one-shot kill virtually everything. Snare means absolutely nothing. The only thing that Snare does is activate this ability here, the 45% damage bonus to slowed and snared targets. Unfortunately, this is a slow-firing weapon. So it's going to take a long time before you get a second shot on the target, and the only targets that are going to get hit multiple times are Huskies and Mist Monsters. So you have a choice. You can have damage to slowed and snared, which will help you with both of those things, or you could go with damage to Mist Monsters and Bosses, which will mean you're going to do more damage to a Mist Monster and Boss because you're going to do 36% bonus damage on the first shot instead of 45 only on the second, everything after the first shot, which is a big deal because you're probably going to two-shot the boss, maybe three, maybe if you don't get lucky with crits, in which case damage to Mist Monsters and Bosses is consistently a better tool because those first two shots on the target with damaged Mist Monsters and Bosses are almost for sure going to get the kill, whereas if you have damage to slowed and snared, you might end up having to take a third shot. However, against Huskies, Mist Monsters and Bosses will do nothing, and damage to slowed and snared kind of covers the whole range of enemies that you're going to be facing. So it's up to you to choose which of these two terrible perks you're going to put on this gun. I tell you right now, if this perk was a reload speed perk, this gun would be, oh my gosh, so awesome, so much more awesome. And that's the thing is, the old Betsy looks the same, right? Crit rate, crit damage, physical, crit damage. But the old Betsy's last two perks is reload speed and headshot explosions. So you get a reload speed that's blazingly fast, like 1.5, and a headshot explosion that can basically kill an entire group of enemy with one hit. Because you imagine if you got a 1 million damage crit, 30% of that damage hits all the targets within a half tile radius. That's 300,000 damage to everything else that's standing close to that target you just killed. So it is a completely dominant form of AoE. Reload is a completely dominant perk to have on the weapon. So this gun is just two terrible perks on this. It's really a shame. It's a bad passive, and it's a bad fifth perk. Although this gun is so heavily statted compared to guns before it that even without these bonuses, this gun is still doing as much damage or more than everything else, including the old Betsy. It still does higher body shot damage, unquestionably. The only thing that this gun fails at is having a good passive, having a good fifth perk, having good headshot, and having good reload time. And that's a lot. That's a lot of bad things. But this gun largely makes up for that because you can shoot through multiple enemies. You have massive single shot body damage, meaning you're going to one-shot kill pretty much everything. Like everything that's lower than a Husky is just dead, and even a Husky is going to be dead in 2 shots usually. This gun's nuts, man. It's nuts. Like the raw power makes up for all of the bad features of this weapon. And another thing we have to talk about is the bullet drop and the projectile speed. That is a really big factor for this gun, kind of like the crossbow. You have bullet drop, although much less than the crossbow. It still is noticeable. And what's more noticeable is the projectile speed. When you're trying to shoot a target and the target is moving sideways, you have to lead the target by like a significant amount depending on your range. So it can make it very hard to hit moving targets, which, takes away a lot of the damage potential for this gun. Overall, I'd say this gun has the perfect balance of weaknesses and strengths to outweigh those weaknesses. Like it's like a min-max niche specialty weapon. This gun's going to be really strong on defenders, although keep in mind it shoots through multiple enemies. It does not shoot through buildings. It does not shoot through anything else. It doesn't shoot through shields. This gun only shoots through multiple husks, so your sniper's going to have to be exposed, but this gun is extremely powerful, and your sniper's going to one-shot kill most enemies pretty hard. Keep in mind again, 2.5 reload is a bad day, right? It's a bad day. So this gun is going to cover a lot of bases, especially for new players that don't have a really good sniper rifle. Man, does this one fit the bill. This is a monster sniper rifle. Just a hundreds and hundreds, almost in the millions of damage for a 106 God rolled Yeoman. Man, oh man, the damage is so satisfying. When you hit those crits, enemies explode. They just die instantly. And it feels good, man, especially when you hit multiple targets in a row and you just kill the whole row with one shot. And you're just like, oh, holy cow. It's like you're shooting trains at people. So, yeah, the Yeoman. Is it good? Oh, heck yeah. Oh, man, this gun is fantastic. Just pure powerhouse. For anybody who doesn't have an old Betsy, you pretty much have to get this gun. Like, this gun is just so legit. As for people with the old Betsy, this gun is similar enough that you probably don't want to God roll it, because the old Betsy does pretty much the same thing as this one, with some slight differences, which I'll cover in another video. Yeah, this one is an absolutely top tier monster sniper rifle, one of the best in the entire game's history. And man, you're going to see this gun a lot. There's going to be a lot of people rocking this, I think, on Defenders, on themselves, just for the memes of getting, like, you're going to see damage in the millions. You're going to watch people do 130 God rolls of this weapon and score well over 1 million damage with a headshot. This thing's going to just, oh, it's going to be insane. It's just an insane weapon. So anyway, guys, one more thing we have to talk about is the character loadout for this gun. Because this gun is really hard to fit onto any one specialist character. Your best options, there's definitely going to be anybody with reload speed on the character. The TED shot is actually going to do pretty much nothing for this gun, because the TED shot reload bonus requires that you hit multiple headshots off of a single clip. This has only one bullet in the clip, so that does nothing for this class. The TED shot gives you a sniper rifle attack speed increase, fire rate increase. That does nothing for this gun, because your reload takes longer than your fire rate, so you're stuck. The reload is determining your fire rate, not your fire rate. And then the headshot damage to get fragments also doesn't synergize well with this weapon at all, because while you are going to try to hit headshots when you can, this gun is not super accurate compared to sniper rifles that hit headshots. So this gun is not really suitable as a headshot weapon either. You're going to get headshots, it's going to do insane damage, but you're not going to hit headshots enough for the TED shot fragment generating ability to be worth your time. So this gun is more of a reload specialist gun. You need to find somebody like the Urban Assault, 20% faster reload. Basically any soldier will get the faster reload, or most of the good ones anyway. The good soldiers all have reload speed. The Calamity is a fantastic character. It's my personal favorite as far as reload speed goes. You empty your clip, you get a 35% damage bonus. Fantastic, powerful ability. And yeah, so you can run with a Calamity, run with TED shot in the support slot for the extra 70% critical damage. We got them right here. Calamity, TED shot for the critical damage sniper rifle bonus, and then you can throw a survivalist in to get some extra life regeneration to keep your health topped up. So that is the hero loadout for this weapon. Really powerful. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I felt like the reload speed on Calamity really made this weapon truly viable in a way that it may not normally be. That pretty much covers everything for this gun. The gun is fantastic. It's hard to get used to, but once you get used to it, you're going to score some of the biggest numbers that you've ever seen. All right, so the Yeoman. Here is the new sniper rifle, guys. This thing is the newest single shot, one shot kill sniper in the game. It's crazy, man. This is a crazy gun. It's hard to find a character that really works well with this gun, though. Because it's a single shot rifle or a single shot sniper, it really doesn't work at all with TED shot. TED shot gets no value out of this weapon whatsoever. But characters like Calamity that have a massive reload speed bonus are really good, especially this one here. Calamity gets a 35% bonus if you use up your entire clip. And since this gun has a one shot clip, it's like, oh shoot, and you get the full 35% bonus, and it kind of compensates for this gun's really bad reload speed. This has a nice piercing effect that allows you to shoot through multiple enemies, which, you know, in this situation here, no scoping, you could just completely devastate. See, the no scope, you still have crosshairs, so you still have a good idea of where you're shooting. This gun is just, oh, sick gun, man, sick gun. Now you got to keep in mind that this gun takes a little bit of getting used to. This gun, much like the crossbow, does have bullet drop, and projectile speed is an issue when you're trying to lead your targets. So you got to make sure that you kind of get used to the range of how much you have to lead your targets by. See, that was actually, had to lead them by quite a lot. The bullet projectile speed is quite disruptive to this gun, but as you can see, the damage is just insane. 557,000 damage is just ludicrous. Oh, that was a miss. This gun is perfectly capable of no-scoping, which is really nice because you kind of need to when you have a lot of enemies bearing down on you. And honestly, the no-scope kind of distance that you're going to be functioning within is typically where you're going to get the most benefit out of your multi-killing capabilities, because this gun can shoot through multiple enemies. When you're shooting really far, as you can see, the bullet drop is not actually, it's not nearly as bad as like the crossbow. You do have to, you know, aim up a little bit. As you can see, that was a really long shot. You have to aim up by a bit, but not a crazy amount. Oops, see, that one I went too high. You don't have to aim that high. The bullet drop is not insane. It's just enough. There was a double headshot kill. I like that one. Wow, did I just hit 600,000? Holy moly. Gun hits real hard. Ooh, 696,000 damage. Oh my goodness. This gun is legit. Crazy damage. Yeah, you hit those crits, man. Oof. This gun is no joke. The nice thing about this one is, even as a crit build, the gun is strong enough to one-shot kill anything with or without a crit. Anything below a husky is a one-shot kill, which is really nice. Wait, what? There we go. Wow, 989,000 damage, Migs. 989,000 damage. I very nearly one-shot killed a smasher. Unfortunately for this gun has very little ability to shoot through riot shields. It's very ineffective. Okay, let's try. I want to see if I can kill this guy. I know I've killed him before. It's really hard though. Shooting through that little pocket with this gun just doesn't seem to work very well. Oh, come on, that was dead on, man. Alright, let's try again. We shoot his feet. There we go. There we go. Shoot him in the feet. One-shot kill. Foot crit. Oh, toe cramp. Ah, death. Yeah, this gun has huge issues against riot shields. Huge issues against energy shields, shielders. The gun, you know, struggles against all the things that most snipers struggle with. Although this one has additional problems because of the bullet drop and the projectile speed. Makes it really hard to hit like really precise shots that are through small gaps. just they don't work very well on this gun at all. So this one here though, man, it hits so hard. Like the crits are legit. $449,000 damage against an elemental with a physical weapon. Pretty insane damage. 696,000 damage. Yeah, this gun is no joke, man. It has huge knockback too, so you can like knock enemies flying. Assuming you don't kill them in one shot, which is usually the case. Ooh, look at that one. Oh, look at that. One shot killed a blaster with a body shot. Oh. There we go. Look at that. Killed 3 enemies with one shot. Beautiful. This gun is really susceptible to getting jostled around though. You got to make sure that you don't get hit while you're shooting. It'll really throw off your aim severely. But man oh man, this gun is nasty, bros. Nasty. Just an absolutely devastating weapon. This gun is very comparable to the old Betsy. The old Betsy is the gun that this is competing with in a lot of ways, because the old Betsy is the current one-shot, one-kill champion, and this one it's better in some ways, but worse in others. So in the ways that this gun is better is that this gun has more impact and more damage. For one shot, if you hit a body shot on this gun is stronger, like straight up. It has the exact same crit rate. Oop. Oh dang, didn't get the crit. But yeah, this gun has more damage than the old Betsy. Oh, ooh, pushed me right off. As you can see, shields are completely nullify the effectiveness of this character here. So you got to be careful when you're dealing with. Oh wow, I didn't get the kill. There we go. Man. Sometimes not getting the crit can hurt so much when you're using a sniper rifle. Oh, there we go. Boom. Boom. Three shots for a blaster without crits. Oh, and then of course I crit him for over, like almost a million damage. Crazy. Of course that last shot's just super legit. 944,000 damage. Get wrecked, Flinger. So yeah, really, so this gun is fantastic. It hits like a truck. Compared to the old Betsy, it's very comparable, right? 111,000 damage with the old Betsy, 135,000 damage with this one. So this one actually does more damage than the old Betsy. The old Betsy, however, completely blows this one out of the water when it comes to headshot damage, because this weapon has very low headshot damage multiplier. It's only 1.5 compared to the old Betsy's 2.0, which, I mean, that is huge, man. That's the difference between a 100,000 damage base shot doing 150,000 headshot versus 200,000 headshot. Like, that is a massive difference So this one here is not really designed for headshots. You're definitely going to get bonus damage for hitting headshots, but that's not what this gun, you know, primarily does. The other thing about this gun is that it has a terrible passive. Having a slowed and snared does pretty much nothing, right? It's like, oh, 30% slowed and snared, who cares? That, you know, it's irrelevant. Therefore, the fifth perk on this gun is pretty much a dead perk. It does almost nothing. It'd almost be worth just running with damage to miss monsters and bosses. Although damage to miss monsters and bosses, you're going to do... Yeah, basically, damage to miss monsters and bosses is better if you're just fighting miss monsters and bosses. Damage to slowed and snared is if you want to be good against miss monsters and bosses, and also good against elemental huskies. So you got, you know, you gotta decide if you want to be able to kill huskies with the bonus damage. You need to decide how important that is to you compared to just killing blasters and smashers. So it's kind of a hard choice. There's no right or wrong answer. They're both fine. But again, they're both fine. They're not incredible. So there's that struggle, right? You've got a weapon that is crazy powerful, but doesn't have the best perks. The perks are like, oh, dang, man, that could be, you know, if it was like the old Betsy and you had a reload perk instead of that, you know, garbage fifth perk, this gun would be just the king. Be the king in almost every way. But this gun has super bad reload speed. The bullet drop causes your accuracy to suffer. It's not precise the way the Betsy is. This weapon, if you hit 2 targets in a row, this weapon's in it is in heaven, right? It's in its element. The fact that this has bullet piercing makes this incredibly powerful, but then you gotta also keep in mind that the old Betsy also has headshot elimination. So when you headshot kill something, that something's gonna blow up and potentially kill every other enemy around it. So it's not like the old Betsy doesn't have multi-target capabilities as well. So when you think about it that way, the piercing shot of this weapon is like, oh, well, I guess maybe that's not as big a deal. And truly, the old Betsy's AoE is probably better than the piercing damage of this weapon. The piercing damage on this weapon really only is effective at extremely close ranges, and for the most part, I don't utilize it because you're usually up high, aiming down into enemies, killing one at a time. There's very little opportunity to line up shots. The enemies don't stand that close together. So just an awesome gun though. Just awesome. It has its upsides and it has its downsides. And that's why the upsides are so high. The higher the downs, the higher the ups. So this one really hits a niche market for what a gun could do. Anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like and subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and comment down below if there's any other videos you'd like me to cover. Catch you guys next time. So if you like this video, come check us out on Twitch. We Twitch stream 15 to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, every single morning starting at 9 a.m. We'd really appreciate the support. We're working really hard to grow the Twitch channel, so come and check us out. Come help us grow and be part of TeamVASH. Thanks, guys.